The other day, I reread some of the sermons I preached several years ago as we were renovating and expanding our campus, moving to Parker Middle School while this sanctuary was a construction site. Remember that for folks who were there then? It seems like a lifetime ago. Then we moved back, and then we tried to figure out how this would all work, and we're still trying to figure out how it's all going to work. And as I read those sermons over, I found a story that I want to tell again, because stories are always great. And I found some thoughts that I want to share again, because I found them helpful. First, the story. The phone rings. It's my friend calling from his cell phone. "I'm on my way," he shouts. "New home, new life, here I come." That's Pete, a friend who has decided to move cross-country for a new beginning. He's just packed all his belongings into a rented U-Haul. He dreamed of it for years. Now it was time to make the change. Pete drives the U-Haul out of Boston. Just past the city limits, there's a problem. The furniture shifts in the U-Haul, and the truck suddenly tips dangerously to one side. Everything is off balance. This wasn't in the plan. Pete carefully turns around and slowly drives back into town. He parks in front of his old apartment. He opens the back doors of the truck and sells everything he owns. 2 days later, with just one suitcase to his name, he gets on the plane and flies to his new home. My friend was making a change. He was moving from one place to another. But before he could arrive in his new way of being, he had to live through a time of imbalance and uncertainty, a time that required flexibility and patience. My friend liked the idea of change. He just couldn't deal with how it felt. Celebrated change theorist William Bridges believes that what we typically call change is actually made up of two very different experiences. There is change, and then there is transition. There is change, then transition. Change, William Bridges teaches, is a situational shift. Change is an external shift. For instance, my friend Pete physically moved from Boston to California. This is a change. Or divorce papers are signed and ex-spouses go their separate ways. Another change. A husband dies. A change. A child graduates and leaves for college. A change. You're told you have cancer. You retire. You decide to leave the religion you grew up in. Your growing church adds an additional service. Change is the external shift that's being made. Most people, William Bridges says, do not resist change. What they resist is transition. Let me explain. If change is a fact, transition is an experience. Transition is the internal result of change. Transition is the internal shift caused and required by change. Says William Bridges, transition is the state that change puts people into, a psychological and emotional reorientation that people have to go through before they can make the change work. Whereas change can happen quickly, transition takes time. You can have made the change, but still be in the beginning of the transition. For instance, my friend Pete has moved into his apartment in California. That is the change. But now he's shaken by the loss of the friends that he left behind. How can he figure out how to build a new life in a place where he knows no one? A divorced woman aches to find a new lover, but feels she should stay at home and give time to her son. How do I do this? She wonders. A widower keeps referring to our car and our house a year after his wife's death. A college freshman cries herself to sleep every night. Why do I miss mom and dad when all I wanted was to get as far away from them as possible? Your job search takes so much longer than expected. You wonder, do I have anything of worth to offer to anyone? You're thinking that Unitarian Universalism is the religion you're looking for, but you can't quite figure out how to explain it to your family. Transition is the internal journey caused by change. Now, according to William Bridges, that internal journey of transition has three parts. First, transition always starts with an ending. Bridges writes, in the ending, we lose or let go of our old outlook, our old reality, our old attitude, our old values, our old self-image. We may resist this ending for a while. We may try to talk ourselves out of what we're feeling. And when we do give in, we may be swept by feelings of sadness or even anger. The second step in transition is what I call the middle place. As Bridges describes it, this is the zone between the old and the new. It is a time when our lives feel as they have broken apart or gone dead. The middle place is the place of imbalance and questions. In this middle place, we get mixed signals, some from the old way of being and some from a way of being that's still unclear to us. Nothing feels solid. It is the place where we think something has gone wrong. Finally, thankfully, comes the third step, the new beginning. Here, Bridges writes, we take hold of and identify with some new outlook and new reality, as well as new attitudes and a new self-image. When we've done this, we feel that we're finally starting a new chapter in our lives. We have a sense of purpose and a new sense of possibility. This is the three-part path of transition: ending and letting go, the middle place filled with uncertainty and imbalance, and finally claiming a new beginning and a new reality. My friends, we are in transition. We are in the midst of that middle place. Now, what I really love about this model, this perspective, is that it's so true to life. It honors the discomfort, the helplessness, the unknowing quality of that in-between place. It tells us it's okay to feel confused or unsteady. It tells us it won't all happen at once. It tells us that it will take time to figure it all out. It tells us it will take time for us to grow into what is becoming. This is the path of the true spiritual journey. This is the path of our lives. This is the path of this church community as we adjust to 2 services, a big mortgage, a big budget, a bigger campus, and even bigger dreams yet to come. This is the path towards our shared vision, a vibrant and welcoming spiritual community, a place of caring and conscience, a place to nurture our spirits, a people to help heal the world. May it be so. Blessed be.